Hi, I'm Megan, and I'm going to be doing a short presentation on e-cigarette use in teens and young adults. According to the U.S. Surgeon General, teenagers and young adults in the United States are using e-cigarettes in record numbers. Their popularity has especially grown in the last 5 years, with currently 1 in 4 teenagers and young adults reportedly having tried them. While scientists are still researching how e-cigarettes affect health, there is currently already enough evidence to justify that efforts to prevent e-cigarette use among young people are warranted. First, let's talk about what e-cigarettes are. E-cigarettes are electronic devices that heat a liquid into an aerosol that the user then inhales. The liquid usually contains nicotine, flavorings, and other additives. Just like with regular cigarettes, the nicotine in e-cigarettes is highly addictive. Because most e-cigarettes contain nicotine, which is derived from tobacco, they are considered a tobacco product. E-cigarettes come in many different shapes, sizes, and flavors, and are also commonly called vape pens, e-cigs, tank systems, mods, and Juuls. Now we're going to talk about the current trends in e-cigarette use. Since 2014, e-cigarettes have been the most common tobacco product used by youth in the United States, and between the years of 2011 and 2018, past 30-day e-cigarette use grew considerably among middle and high school students. From 2011 to 2018, tobacco use rose 18% among female middle school and high school students and 21% among male and middle school high school students. This is directly related to the popularity that e-cigarettes have achieved over the years. As with the youth population, e-cigarette use is also increasing among young adults as well. From 2012 to 2018, e-cigarette use among young adults ages 18 to 24 increased from 2.4 to 7.6%. E-cigarette usage among young adults ages 25 to 44 is currently around 4.2%. The terms dual use or polytobacco use refer to the use of e-cigarettes in conjunction with other tobacco products, with the most common combination being e-cigarettes and combustible cigarettes. In 2016, 54.6% of e-cigarette users also smoked combustible cigarettes. Dual use is also highly common among youth and young adults as well, with the nationally representative survey finding that 55.9% of e-cigarette users between the ages of 13 and 25 also used another tobacco product in addition to e-cigarettes. In young adults ages 18 to 35, more frequent and intensive cigarette use was associated with the use of e-cigarettes. The National Academies of Science, Engineering, and Medicine concluded that there is substantial evidence to support the theory that e-cigarette use significantly increases the risk of ever using combustible cigarettes among youth and young adults, with some studies suggesting that e-cigarette users may be as much as 4 times more likely to begin smoking cigarettes than those who do not use e-cigarettes. There are several factors that can contribute to e-cigarette use among teens and young adults. These include use by a family member or friend, the variety of tasty flavors available to choose from, curiosity, the belief that e-cigarettes are less harmful than other tobacco products, and marketing and product design that appeals to and targets a young audience. There is a common misconception among teens and young adults that e-cigarettes are significantly safer than other tobacco products. Currently, approximately 10% of the youth in the United States believe e-cigarettes cause no harm. 62% believe they cause little or some harm, and 28% believe they cause a lot of harm. Now that we've discussed trends in e-cigarette use, we're going to talk about the dangers and health hazards associated with their use. Because e-cigarettes are relatively new, no one knows for sure the long-term effects their use may have. However, there is rapidly emerging evidence of adverse effects on multiple body systems. 4 major risk factors that are associated with e-cigarette use are addiction and brain risks, heart risk, lung disease, and cancer. First, we're going to talk about addiction and brain risk associated with e-cigarette use. Here's a short video from the Centers for Disease Control to start off this section.
Some say e-cigarettes aren't dangerous.
But science shows nicotine can harm teens' developing brains.
No matter how they're exposed.
Let's do an experiment to find out.
Here's a teen who won't be using e-cigarettes.
Now we need one willing to risk their brain development.
Anyone care to volunteer your kid?
Anyone?
Your kids are not an experiment. Protect them from e-cigarettes.
Nicotine is a highly addictive substance, and the nicotine found in e-cigarettes is just as addictive as that of combustible cigarettes. Youth and young adults are especially at risk for developing lasting effects from exposing their still developing brains to nicotine. Until around age 25, the brain is still growing and developing. Each time a new memory is created or a new skill learned, synapses are formed between brain cells. Young people form synapses at a much faster rate, and because addiction is a form of learning, young people can become addicted to nicotine much more quickly than adults. The effects of nicotine on the developing brain can also contribute to mood disorders, permanent lowering of impulse control, and damage the parts of the brain that control attention and learning. Nicotine use in youth and young adults can also prime their brains for addiction to other drugs such as cocaine. Next, we're going to talk about the risk of heart disease that is associated with the use of e-cigarettes. While long-term cardiovascular effects of e-cigarette use are unknown, research has shown that e-cigarettes could possibly have a negative effect on resting heart rate, blood pressure, and the cells that line the body's blood vessels. E-cigarettes also produce what are known as carbonyl compounds when the e-cigarette liquid is heated to create the aerosol the user inhales. Carbonyl compounds have been found to be associated with an increased risk of blood clots and atherosclerosis, a disease which causes plaque to build up on the walls of the arteries, narrowing them and reducing blood flow to the heart. E-cigarette use can also be extremely harmful to the lungs due to the fact that the aerosol from e-cigarettes can contain many potentially harmful chemicals. Also present in the aerosol can be ultrafine particles that can be inhaled deeply into the lungs, causing damage. Chemical flavorings, such as diacetyl, which have been connected to a serious lung disease, are also found in e-cigarette aerosol. E-cigarette aerosol also contains volatile organic compounds such as benzene, which is most commonly found in car exhaust, and heavy metals such as lead, tin, and nickel. E-cigarettes have been found to be associated with increased risks of chronic cough, phlegm, bronchitis, and even asthma. Studies have also shown that e-cigarette aerosol may cause injury to the small airways of the lungs and contribute to a number of inflammatory respiratory diseases such as pneumonia and interstitial lung disease. Other studies have shown e-cigarette use may impair immune cell function in the lungs and may make users more susceptible to both viral and bacterial respiratory infections. Lastly, vaping has been associated with an increased risk of cancer. The aerosol from e-cigarettes can contain carcinogenic substances such as formaldehyde, which is formed if the e-cigarette liquid overheats or not enough liquid reaches the heating element. The first study linking e-cigarette use with cancer was published in October 2019. Carcinomas of the lung and abnormal bladder cell growth were seen in mice who had been exposed to e-cigarette aerosol for a total of 54 weeks. For teens and young adults who already vape, I wanted to talk a little bit about resources to help quit. Smokefree.gov is a website ran by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and provides resources for those looking to quit vaping and/or smoking. Two resources that would be especially appealing to youth and young adults are the Quit Start phone app and Smokefree Text. The Quick Start app is available for download on both Apple and Android devices. When a user enters information about their smoking or vaping habits, the app creates a personalized plan with content meant to best fit their smoking cessation needs. The app helps users quit smoking by keeping a check on their progress and getting them back on track to quit after a slip-up, keeping track of smoking triggers, distracting from cravings with games and challenges, and allowing them to share progress and tips with others on social media to increase their support system. Smoke-Free Text is a free text messaging service that is designed to provide round-the-clock encouragement, advice, and tips for becoming smoke-free. Users will receive 3 to 5 text messages a day and can sign up or opt out at any time. The next smoking cessation tool is This Is Quitting. It's a free mobile program from Truth Initiative that is specifically designed to help young people quit vaping. This program sends out evidence-based tips and strategies via text messages to both help young people quit and stay quit. This program specifically targets individuals ages 13 to 24 and also incorporates messages from other young people who have both attempted to quit and successfully quit vaping. The messages show the real side of quitting and talk about both the good and bad aspects of it in order to help youth and young adults feel motivated, inspired, and supportive through their quitting process. All one has to do to get started is text Ditch Juul to 88709 or go online and enter their phone number into the This Is Quitting website. This concludes my presentation. I hope you found it informative and educational. Thanks for watching.